Good morning, Thailand. My name is Alex.
And I'm Jay.
And we have some news updates for you from around the land of smiles this Wednesday, March 5th. But before we begin, please remember to subscribe to the Thaiger to stay up to date on all things Thailand. Now, today, we'll be talking about cannabis thieves in Koh Phangan, Thailand's big bet on Songkran Tourism boosts, and a little later, the prospect of a border wall between Cambodia and the land of smiles. But first, we're back here in Thailand as it is planning to ease the booze ban for tourists on Buddhist holy days.
Yay.
Good news for all the drinkers. Yeah. Thailand will maintain its alcohol ban on 5 major Buddhist holidays, but introduce exceptions to support tourism. The Alcoholic Beverage Board approved sales in international airports, tourist zones, hotels, and event venues. The new regulations are expected before Visakha Bucha Day on May 11th. Deputy PM Prasert emphasized balancing tradition and tourism while ensuring public safety. The board is also reviewing online alcohol sales. Public feedback will be collected before the proposal goes to the Prime Minister for final approval and publication in the Royal Gazette. Rejoice!
Yeah.
Drinkers. Where was this when we went to Green Day the other day? Bummer.
I know. What are tourist spots again? Like Khao San?
I imagine any sort of tourist trappy
Anywhere
area.
in Thong Law? I don't know.
That kind of a thing.
I see.
Look, there were always ways to get around this in the first place, but definitely I think the big thing is for big events, right? Like we went to Impact Arena for that, and everyone was drinking 0% beer at a concert.
And it was so sad.
That was a bummer.
So sad.
So it seems like we'll have a fix in very shortly, and it's coming up fast, but before May. So that's something I like about Thailand is that they move quickly when it comes to these policy changes.
They're also working on kind of abolishing the 12 o'clock to 5 p.m. midday no buy alcohol rule. They're trying to get rid of that ban, so that would be good as well.
Yeah, one step at a time.
All right, one step at a time. All right. We're going to move on to our next story, which is unfortunately started funny, but probably ended up in tragedy. 2 Bangkok tuk-tuk race ends in crash, 3 injured. Have you ever seen tuk-tuks race in Bangkok? Well, a late-night tuk-tuk race in Bangkok ended in a violent crash on Ratchada Pisek Road, leaving 3 people seriously injured. One driver, 28-year-old Pichit, sustained a severe head injury, while the other drivers and his passengers suffered broken legs. Witnesses reported the tuk-tuks were racing and collided when one made a risky lane change, causing it to flip. Police are investigating and awaiting blood alcohol test results. The incident raises concerns about reckless driving, with locals calling for stricter traffic enforcement to prevent similar accidents. It's part of the charm of the tuk-tuk, even with tourists sometimes. They drive extra fast just to give them a thrill.
A little bit of a rush. But yeah, when it comes down to street racing, though, I think that's when that competitive edge comes out. Getting a little vroom, to give them that excitement. Sure, that's one thing, but doing it with another tuk-tuk nearby increases the risk of something like this happening. And
look, I'm not going to be a hypocrite. There has been a time in my life at a much younger age where I've been in a tuk-tuk. My other friends have been in another tuk-tuk. Someone goes vroom vroom. The lights go off, and it just goes off. And it's very fun. Everything is a little bit more fun when you've had a few cold beverages at night, if you know what I mean. But doesn't mean you should do it. Because things like this happen. Those tuk-tuks are probably pretty much made with plastic, and a gust of wind can flip it over.
Yeah, that's exactly. Not exactly the most stable vehicles, that's for sure. So be careful and don't encourage your drivers to do that kind of a thing.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Just say no to street racing and alcohol in general.
And safe advice, all right, anyways, on to our next story. Thieves about.
Oh no.
That's right. Koh Phangan police have been criticized over cannabis theft. A Koh Phangan cannabis shop owner, Jaria, has accused local police of ignoring a theft involving 2 Farang customers. CCTV footage from Monkey's dispensary shows one suspect stealing a jar of cannabis worth over 6,000 baht, while the other distracted Jaria. Despite reporting the theft with video evidence, police allegedly dismissed her case, saying they couldn't act without the suspects' names. Frustrated, Jaria turned to social media, offering a reward for information. The case has sparked criticism of police inaction and raised concerns about crime involving tourists in Thailand's growing cannabis market. This is a classic maneuver where you see one person playing the distractor while the other person goes and starts swiping merch off of the counter. So big thing in shoplifting, particularly if there's only one shop owner there, being distracted, trying to help customers, and then being taken advantage of. frustrating that the police aren't they dismissed her case out of hand so quickly that she now feels she has to turn to social media to try and find any sort of justice, which is not what you want. So hopefully bringing a little bit more of attention to it will put a little fuel to the fire and increase the impetus for this investigation.
I have not much comment on that story.
Gotcha.
All right. Moving on to our next story. Some good news coming out of Thailand. Thailand bets big on Songkran Tourism boost. Are you excited for Songkran this year in Thailand? Because it's set to host the Maha Songkran World Water Festival 2025, investing 153 million baht to boost tourism. The event held at Sanam Luang in Bangkok from April 11 to 15 aims to attract 800,000 visitors and generate 3.2 billion baht in tourist spending. Approved by Prime Minister Paetongtarn Shinawatra, the initiative highlights Thailand's rich culture and New Year traditions, reinforcing its position as a top travel destination during the festive season. Who's ready for the holidays?
Yeah, Songkran coming up, man. It's one of my favorite holidays.
It is.
Absolutely love
and a long-awaited holiday because, there are a lot of public holidays in Thailand, but we're at a long stretch between February to Songkran. There are no public holidays, and then for some reason the entire country decides to stop working for pretty much the 80% of the month.
Yeah, most of April is holiday time. Yeah. So, everybody holding their breath, counting the days until we get there.
Last year, on average, most companies worked 12 days in April. Yeah. This year, probably 12 to 15 is the average.
That's all right by me.
Hey, that's okay.
I'm okay with that.
Bada bing, bada boom.
In any case, I'm looking forward to it. It's a fun celebration, but I might actually get out of town this time.
Whoa!
I don't know. I'm thinking about doing a little international travel.
Year, didn't you?
No. Well, no. Last time I was in Hua Hin. I'm talking about getting out of Thailand this time. Hua Hin.
Oh, out of Thailand.
Yeah.
During Songkran, though.
I know. So decisions. I haven't made a final one yet, but I'll keep you posted.
All right.
Anyways, guys, that'll do it for our Thailand section of the news. We still have 3 stories for the ASEAN Now section, which we're going to try to blaze through right now because I found them just to be a bit too interesting, and we're covering a lot of bases. We're still blowing up in Cambodia, Indonesia, Malaysia.
Baby.
So I want to keep those balls rolling. And we're going to start first in Malaysia, where Malaysia's ex-prime minister has had to declare his wealth amid a graft probe. That's right, Malaysia's former Prime Minister Ismail Sabri Yaakob has declared his wealth to the anti-graft agency amid an ongoing corruption probe. Authorities are investigating government publicity spending during his tenure from August 2021 to November 2022 and have seized nearly $40 million USD in assets, including cash and gold bars. Ismail was questioned last year and formally submitted his wealth declaration on February 10th. 4 senior officials from his administration have been detained, and further questioning may follow as the probe continues.
Hey, there we go.
Yikes.
Declare it, baby.
I mean, it seems
transparency.
He's trying to be transparent, but it seems like it's after the fact, after they've seized a lot of money and gold bars. Pretty old school, but seems a little Bond villainous right now. But
gold bar. That's how it's done.
Yeah.
Old as gold.
I guess so, yeah. The new equivalent of bearer bonds. But we'll see. I don't know, Malaysia, excuse me. I'm curious to know if you think he is guilty or if this is a witch hunt. Let us know in the comments.
Okay, all right. We're going to go to Indonesia as Jakarta floods displace thousands as heavy rain persists. Catastrophe in Jakarta as severe floods in Jakarta have forced thousands to evacuate as torrential rain submerge homes, roads, and a hospital in Bekasi. Water levels reached up to 3 meters, prompting Jakarta Governor Pramono Anung to raise the alert level and activate water pumps. Rescuers are evacuating trapped residents while the government provides temporary shelters, food, and medical aid. Indonesia's weather agency warns heavy rain may continue until March the 11th, with weather modifications efforts underway to reduce rainfall. This flooding is considered the worst in Bekasi since 2020.
Looks bad. Looks
extremely bad. Yeah, our thoughts and messages and love and prayers go out to the families that are suffering from this. But it's one of those situations that sometimes we face in Thailand that just can't do much about it. I mean, it just happened in 2020. We're only 5 years into. I mean, it's basically been 4 years and a half, and here we go again.
Yeah, it's you really don't know what to do, and now it's becoming more and more unseasonal, right? Like this feels a bit early for us to be getting such a heavy dose of rain. So yeah, unclear what the solution is here. If it's like better, infrastructure, better sewage system, something like that. So there's better water drainage. No matter what, though, like this is like completely putting the economy off balance. It's ruining lives. Apparently not too much in the way of fatalities, right? Like I guess Indonesia's still pretty equipped and prepared. Like the floods happen all the time, so they're ready. But whatever happens, the amount of property damage is just insane and astronomical. You gotta wonder if they'll be able to address it in the future. All right, now our final story of the day is guess what?
What?
Might be building a wall.
Oh,
That's right. Thailand is considering a border wall in order to combat scam gangs in Cambodia. So, Thailand is considering building a border wall with Cambodia to curb illegal crossings and combat scam centers run by Chinese criminal gangs. The proposal, discussed in a cabinet meeting, follows a major crackdown on human trafficking and financial fraud, with Thai police rescuing 119 nationals from a scam compound in Phoi Phet. The defense and foreign ministries will assess the wall's feasibility, but no timeline has been set. Scam centers across Southeast Asia have trafficked thousands into forced labor, with ongoing efforts to repatriate victims, particularly from Myanmar's Myawaddy region. Build a wall. Build a wall. Build the wall.
is it the solution? So
I don't know. Something's got to be done, though. So I kind of don't mind the idea of trying something, because this is becoming insane. Like the amount of impunity that these Chinese gangs have, and the fact that they're able to operate on pretty porous borders along both Myanmar and Cambodia's borders with Thailand means that some action should be taken. Whether this is actually the solution or not remains to be seen, and also the cost has to be taken into consideration.
Yeah.
But do walls work? Let us know your thoughts in the comments, everybody.
Yeah. And ladies and gentlemen, that's it. Those are some of the stories from across Thailand and ASEAN Now. You can find more stories on thetiger.com or join in the conversation at
ASEANnow.com.
there we go.
Yeah, be sure to subscribe to The Thaiger across not just YouTube, but also on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter.
Yeah. Why not?
We have
Lemonade.
Lots of other, lemonade, of course. How do I keep forgetting?
Lemonade.
And we do have a new Instagram page called Thaiger Life on Instagram, which is pushing a lot more lifestyle content. Get
We also have a huge Spotify and Apple podcast, by the way.
We do.
I keep running into people who keep reminding me every now and then that, hey, I listened to your podcast. And I'm like, and I'm almost in disbelief. And I'm like, what? And they're like, yeah, I listened to you on Spotify. And I'm like, cool.
Yeah, there are dozens of us.
They're there.
Dozens. Anyways, for now, we're going to wrap up the show and get into the comments and see what you guys are saying.